So for as long as I can remember, I used to be the guy in class who wanted to speak up in class, like who wanted to volunteer and who wanted to do the reading, but I never had the courage to do so. And I had a really good cope for this as well. I used to say to myself, but I stutter, and I really do, like I really used to stutter. And so I said to myself, bro, I cannot do the reading. But then around 2 months ago, I went to a pool with my friends, and then there I was hesitating from jumping in the pool. And a friend of mine who is a really good swimmer told me a trick. And then after using that trick in like every area of my life, I can now speak up as much as I want to. I can like ask as many questions as I want to, and I can do the reading whenever I want to because I know that I am capable of doing that. Heck bro, my main work is speaking now. Like my work is speaking to people. And so bro, this is how I developed the courage to start speaking up. First of all, tell me what is courage. Courage is not that when you do something when there are the perfect conditions. Courage is when you do something when there is fear. Courage is doing the thing even though you know that there is some fear involved in that. And so bro, when you speak up, like when you only do that thing in the perfect conditions, that is not courage. That is like being perfect. But when you do the things when there is fear involved in it, that is being courageous. And so imperfect conditions are what make you courageous. And so the next time you want to speak up, but then this thought comes to your mind, but the conditions are not perfect, say to yourself, I know this is how it is. Like if you only take the action when the conditions are perfect, you are not being courageous. Because the best way to be controlled by your fear is to not face it but to run away from it as much as possible. For example, bro, let's say that you want to read in class. Let's say that you want to do reading in class. But then when the lecture comes, you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to do next day. But then the next day you say to yourself, I'm going to do next day. With every day that passes, that fear becomes more and more powerful. Like it's just a simple thing. It's like just doing reading in class. It's no big deal. It's not conquering like a kingdom or something. No, it's just doing reading in class. But then the longer you wait, the more you run away from it, the more powerful that fear will become. And so bro, the best way to cure your fear is to face it and not run away from it. This is what my friend told me on the pool. He said to me that bro, do not think about that for more than 3 seconds. Like do not think about jumping in the pool for more than 3 seconds. And you can use this rule, you can use this trick in every area of your life. If you want to do the reading, if you want to speak up, do not think about it for more than 3 seconds. If you want to ask a question in class, do not think about it for more than 3 seconds. Just say the question because bro, nothing will happen. But if you do not take action, a lot of things will happen. You will become controlled by the fear. The fear will start to become more and more and more powerful. And so we do not want that, but we want to take action on that fear. And so the best way to cure the fear is to take action on that fear. It's like bro, you don't wait for the enemy to gather their troops, but instead you strike first so that you can be the winner. But then you might be saying to yourself, but I'm not good yet. Yes, I know bro, you are not good yet. But tell me, how does someone get good at something? How does someone master a skill? By running away from it? No. Because if you don't do the thing, how can you master that thing? By practicing. If you do not do the practice, how do you become a master of it? If you do not do the practice, how will you become better at it? And so it's like me not even recording my first video and then me comparing myself to Mr. Beast and saying that, but I'm not good enough, I'm not at the level of Mr. Beast in front of the camera. And so I will only record my first video when I get to the level of Mr. Beast. Bro, how many videos has Mr. Beast recorded? I do not know, but a lot of videos. So do not say that I am going to wait for the perfect conditions. Instead, take the action. And then whenever these thoughts come up in your mind, like whenever you want to speak up, whenever you want to do the reading or ask any question in class, but then these thoughts come that I'm not good, like I don't know how to speak, I don't know how to ask any question. Say to yourself, this is practice. If you don't ever ask any question in class, how will you get better in asking questions? So what you do is you start asking questions every single day. And so for this, I have made myself a rule that I'm going to ask at least one question in every lecture of the day. And so there are like 6 lectures in the day, in the entire day in my campus. And so this means 6 questions every single day, becoming better 6 times every single day. Now like I have been doing this for like 2-3 weeks, and now I even ask like 2-3 questions in a single lecture as well. Like the one question is just a basic rule. Then there comes the stuttering. Like I have been stuttering for as long as I can remember. Like I used to stutter. I stuttered for like 16, 17 years. Like I could never speak up. I never had the courage to speak up because I always said to myself, I stutter. And I really used to. And bro, I have been running away from it for as long as I can remember. I have been running away from it like for 16, 17 years. But then I thought to myself, running away from this thing has not solved it yet. Like it has not made it go away. And so what I have been doing for 16, 17 years has not worked. And so why not try a different approach? And so I turned my head and I faced it and I stood up to it. And then bro, 8 months of fighting it, 8 months since I started this YouTube channel, 8 months of fighting my stuttering, and now it is nearly gone. And now I can almost like 99% of the time I can speak without stuttering, which is a like you do not know if you have never stuttered in your life, you do not know how big of a blessing is that you have never stuttered in your life. And so if you stutter, this is what I did to cure my stuttering. First of all, bro, like this is my bro science. What I say that when you stutter, you become over energetic. Like you are thinking that I want to speak this, I want to tell the things in my brain. And so a lot of energy comes to your brain and your like tongue. And so when a lot of energy comes to your tongue cannot function. Your tongue cannot like handle all of that energy. This is my bro science. And so what we do is that we don't send all of that energy to our tongue because our tongue cannot handle it, and then our tongue starts stuttering. Then what we do is we send some of that energy to our hands as well. We use our hands while talking. It has worked for me and it will work for you as well. And so whenever you want to speak up and you might fear that I will stutter, use your hands as well. Like I do this a lot of the time. Like when I do reading in my class and I'm feeling that I might stutter here, I start using my hands while doing the reading. And this makes me feel more confident. This makes me look more confident as well because I am using my hands and I have a really good body language. And then the second thing is speak slowly. Because the same rule applies here as well. Because when you want to speak very fast, a lot of energy comes to your tongue and your tongue cannot handle all of that energy. And so you stutter. But then we speak slowly. Like not too slowly, but slowly. Slowly and surely. Do not try to rush those words. Speak slowly, and then when you are speaking, start using those hands. When I solved this, when I came up with these two things to cure my stuttering, I was like, bro, stuttering has not been a curse. It's a blessing. Like if I get to use my hands and I get to speak slowly, which both of these things make me feel more confident and a better speaker, stuttering was a good thing for me. And then let's say that you spoke up in class, you did the reading, but you didn't really do it. And then let's say that you spoke up and you asked the question or you did the reading in class, but then you didn't really do it good enough the first few times, which can happen a first few times, because it is practice. Then what? What has changed? Are you a bad person because of it? No. Are you a bad person because you just did not do good reading? No. Some people laughed, some students who are at the bottom laughed. You care about their opinions this much? What has happened? Every failure is a way to improve. This is practice. So if you do not fail in the practice, you might fail in the match. And so to wrap it up, bro, remember that courage is when there is fear. It is not when you take the action when there are the perfect conditions. It is when you take the action when there is fear involved in it. Like Superman is not brave, men are brave. So be a man because you're not a Superman. And so just quickly, if you really like my advice and you want to go on a one-to-one call with me so that we can talk about all of your problems and then come up with the best suited solution for you, click the first link in the description. And if you want to buy a full productivity course, click the second link in the description. And so do good, and I'll see you in Jannah.